Quin is an abstract game for 2 players which plays a little bit like chess meets Stratego, in space. The first player to get their light piece in the center of the board wins. Let's jump into setup and then gameplay. Each player will have their pawns on their graph board like so. You can choose which pieces you want to play with by changing their face, so every game will be different for you and your opponent. Also, you get to choose 1 clone to add to your lineup. From your chosen pieces, pick 10 and place them on your starting spots on your side of the board. The only piece that can't start on the board is the artificial light. Finally, each player chooses a totem, an item close to them. In my case, I chose my Panda 86, while my opponent brought her sorting hat. You're now ready to start the rush. On your turn, you can do one of 5 options: move, flash, use your power, bring in reinforcements, or resurrect. To move a tower, look at its movement number and move up that many spaces, frontwards, backwards, or to its sides. However, the only way to get to your opponent's side is through the middle. Also, you can't jump over other pieces while moving. If you move into an opponent's piece, a flash happens. You both reveal the pieces to each other, and depending on the piece, a player will capture the piece, swap places, or simply both mutually destroy each other. It's important to note that your light piece captures everything, but if it gets captured, you lose the game. The only way to win is to bring your light to the center iris, or capture an opponent's light. Each player will get a summary card of each piece and what they can do and how many spaces they move. After a few games, you'll get the hang of it, just like in chess, and you'll want to try different starting lineups and strategies. Even as I'm writing this review, I'm thinking of a few of my own. Now for the resurrection totem, you can use it to resurrect one of your captured pieces and place it on your opponent's starting spot if there's any left. This is also a free action, so once used you can still do your regular turn. You can also reinforce into your starting grid as an action, and you'll want to do this as often as you can so that your opponent cannot resurrect their pieces on your starting grid. Use your strategy and tactics to get your light to the middle and win the game. Quin is a quick 2-player abstract game that can be played in under 15 minutes. I love the production quality of this game, the magnetic board, the included coasters. The overall feel of the game is very good. The iconography of the piece do a good job for new players, and the summary cards are great bonus. Speaking of bonuses, you also get this book of strategy which goes deeper into its mechanics and tactics. The fact that every game is different really adds to the replay value. The one thing that kind of bothers me a little bit about the game is that if a new player is not careful, they can lose the game in just a few turns. For example, what stops you from advancing memory to the center and then swapping it with light to easily win the game? Well, I'll tell you, house rules. This game is ready for house rules such as you're not allowed to use memory to swap with light. So you can make the game as interesting or as hard as you wish with some good personal house rules. The game is not super innovative, and there are plenty of games out there that do the same thing. But if you're a fan of these games, Stratego, chess, and things like that, you should check out Quin. We left a link in the description of the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Bored to Death Reviews.